You know that moment when a buddy is about to drop a few $100 on a welder, and you're the one who's already tangled with a corded unit that never seemed to fit through a cramped truck door? I've been there, scrolling through specs, watching YouTube demos, and trying to picture a battery pack humming away while I'm on a roof or in a cramped garage. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. The hesitation most people feel isn't just about the price tag. It's about the what if of buying something that looks sleek on paper, but ends up being a dead weight on the job site. With a Miller Venture 150S, you're stepping into the growing niche of battery-powered welders that promise the freedom of cordless operation without sacrificing the arc quality you expect from a brand like Miller. The question is whether that freedom translates into real-world value, or if you're just swapping a heavy cord for a heavy battery you'll have to recharge every few minutes. First off, the Venture 150S is marketed as a 20150 amp DC stick and TIG machine, housed in a 27-pound case that already includes the 400 WH swappable battery. That weight is something you'll notice right away. It's light enough to carry up a ladder, but not so light that you start wondering if there's a hidden compromise. Miller's inverter technology is the core of that promise. It converts the battery's DC into a stable, low-noise arc that mimics the characteristics of a mains-connected unit. In practice, I've seen that translate into smoother starts on thin sheet metal and a more consistent bead when you're doing a quick repair on a pipe. One of the biggest practical strengths is the fan-on-demand cooling system. Traditional welders run a fan at full blast, which not only drains power, but also adds a constant hum that can be annoying in a small workshop. The Venture's fan only spins up when the internal temperature reaches a threshold, which means you get a quieter operation and a tiny boost in battery endurance. For someone who's welding a few joints on a fence or touching up a chassis in a garage, that quiet, set-and-forget vibe can be a real quality-of-life improvement. The LiftArc TIG initiation is another feature that feels less like marketing fluff and more like a genuine time saver. Instead of fiddling with high-frequency start knobs or dealing with a pilot arc that can be finicky on dirty metal, you simply press the foot pedal and the machine lifts the arc to strike. I tried it on a piece of galvanized steel that had a bit of rust. The arc grabbed cleanly without the usual sputtering you get from a cheap high-frequency starter. That simplicity is exactly what the operator interface promises. Only the essential controls, no menu diving while you're trying to keep a joint tight. Now, the hidden trade-offs start to surface when you push the machine toward its upper limits. At 150 amps, the duty cycle drops dramatically, and the 400 WH battery can only sustain a few short bursts before the voltage starts to sag. In a real-world scenario, that means you can comfortably weld 1/8 inch CH mild steel a couple of times, but if you're trying to run a continuous 150 amp bead on a 3/8 inch CH plate, you'll find yourself hunting for a charger before the job is done. The charger itself is decent, but it's not a rapid-fire solution. You're looking at roughly an hour to bring the pack back up from a low state, which can be a bottleneck on a busy job site. Another limitation is the lack of AC capability. If your work involves aluminum TIG with AC, or you need to run traditional stick electrodes that require AC for certain alloys, the Venture 150S won't cut it. It's strictly a DC machine, so its sweet spot is mild steel, stainless, and some aluminum with decompatible rods. That focus keeps the unit lighter and the electronics simpler, but it also narrows the audience. So, who should actually consider dropping a few $100s on this thing? If you're a field service technician who shows up to a broken-down HVAC unit, a farmer who needs to patch a fence post, or a hobbyist who builds custom motorcycle frames in a garage without a permanent power source, the portability and quick-start nature are huge wins. The ability to hop on a ladder, pull a battery pack from a tote, and start welding without hunting for an outlet solves a logistical headache that many portable welders can't. For small shop owners who already have a mains welder but need a backup for tight spaces or for when the shop's power is maxed out, the Venture can serve as a reliable second tool. On the flip side, if you're a professional fabricator who spends 8 hours a day on inch plate, or you run a production line that can